Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All I Can Geek Gamecast, episode 487. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Rory Feinsod.
Yo!
And Tony Korkanakis.
Yahoo!
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners.
It's Mario Day, guys.
It is Mario Day. It is Mario Day. That is awesome. We had some good news today for that. We have some cool stuff to talk about shortly. Welcome to 47 of the Gamecast, though. We have, like I said, some great news to talk about here. We got some stuff to talk about game-wise that we've played, I'm sure. I'm thinking most of us had played Final Fantasy VII's demo. Am I wrong in this? I'm not going to throw Mike into this. Mike, you might.
50% of the podcast played it last week.
Yes, and I'm now the last one. So yeah, I got to play through the whole demo, and man, they've done a fantastic job with this game. You can complain about how long it's taken them to make this game, but wow. Then you can complain again later about how long it's going to take to make the sequel to this game. But man, they did a great job. That demo is fantastic. Like, it's the whole beginning essentially. Sort of that I remember. I mean, it's been so long. Graphically, it's fantastic. The new combat system is it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting, actually. I was like, at one point I thought about switching back to try the old style because you can do classic. But I stuck with it. I don't know. This is more satisfying about mashing a button, swinging at somebody than it is about just. It is. It's more.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not great at blocking, but it's okay. Best offense is.
That's why you have healing items.
Well, yes, mm-hmm. I used to. I think the demo I blew through all my potions real quick.
I mean, you don't have a big ass sword like that, so you can block with it.
You don't block with that. By itself, it would block as you're swinging. It's so big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it would take away some of the deflection, but the game is fantastic. I can't wait to play this game. I told you guys, I'm so excited for this game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I'm super hyped for it too, and I'm curious to see because we know this is part one, right? And
yeah,
I'm curious to see where they end it because I feel like an obvious place that they could do it, but like the first game had so many like hidden things, right, that you could find if you did certain things along the way, like. Wasn't there certain cutscenes and stuff that you wouldn't see unless you?
I'm trying to remember but it was in the first part. I thought it was more in the open world.
Well, that's what I mean. Like so I'm saying like, because they're gonna want you to play this for a while, right? So like, how does this end? Does this end with like you walking out and then seeing the open world, like
that's
overmap?
What I would assume.
Overmap?
I assume that's when it ends.
Or are you just gonna get like a trailer for the next one, or
my problem is this: they have said they're working on more of this, or no?
Well,
because all they've called this is Final Fantasy VII Remake. Nothing about Part One. Nothing about
what is the second one going to be called?
Yeah, are they making a second one? Is this just kind of here's our reimagining of what this would have been?
It's not a remake if you're not giving us everything.
I know there's a big controversy on Reset Era because like there's nowhere on the front packaging that says like, hey, this is going to be the whole game as you remember it. And to me that does feel pretty scummy. It's like why don't you just say
they should
like
be calling it Final Fantasy VII Remake
Part 1 or
or
the beginning,
the guard or something.
Oh, yeah, give it a something. Yeah, right, like the beginning or something like that. Just be like whatever. But
just to call it Final Fantasy VII Remake, you're not getting the whole game. So.
Right, it's not Resident Evil 2 or 3, remakes, whatever. So.
It's very misleading, and then you don't know how they're going to follow it up. Like, how do you title something after this?
Right. Do you call it Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2?
But that's my question. Like, are they making more?
Or are they going to call it Final Fantasy Remake 2?
Dude, there's no way they're not doing more of it.
Oh, they could follow the 13 model and just, call it Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 and 3.
Yeah, you mean -2, -3? I don't know.
7-2, 7.
I'm worried that this is like, here's the section of this game remade. This is what we're giving you guys as our remake, and we're done. So
again, though, I do think there is a logical spot that they could,
Oh, there is definitely. It's just a matter of like, I don't know. But that game really opens up more in the open world. Like it's just.
But are we going to get an open world, or are we going to get an overmap?
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
So, but it was very impressive demo either way. So very, very much like the game a lot. The combat system is excellent.
It's so funny being able to go back to a game and see it the way you remembered it.
Yeah, like that in my head, I imagine it just like this, which is crazy. It really is. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I haven't had much time with everything else, so that's pretty much it for me since last week. So, I mean, I have played more Control, but I'm not ready to talk about finishing it yet, so I can't. I haven't finished it yet. So,
dude.
no, I got stuck on somebody again, and I'm like, it was the point where I cheesed this. I was dying so much against this boss that I was like, okay, how can I exploit this fight? That's really what I was starting to look at it like. I died, I don't know how many times in a row trying to figure out how I could like just exploit it, because I'm like, I was getting killed by him like massively, and then I'm like, okay, pillars. If I just run around in circles, does he keep following me? And I'm like, okay, he does. Good. Okay. So I kept getting him stuck behind the pillar, and I would shoot him that way. I just hacked the game because I know it's a Remedy game, and I think they get stuck on things. Remedy games are always like that. So
Yep.
I remember Quantum Break. I remember it very well. So, but yeah, the game is so much better though than I would give it credit for before. Like, I'm very happy I went back to it though. I really am. So I mean, there is some cool combat systems with this. Forget the thing I just mentioned about the boss battle. If you're good at the game, obviously you can beat him. I'm not that good at implementing their systems, but I appreciate how good they are. So the way you can combat things, there's such a flow of it that you can do. It's you're a superhero, and you have to appreciate that. So, all right, and that's it for me, Mike.
So I'm still playing some of the old Arkham games. I know the City is leaving soon, but I went back to it after Origins just because I wanted to cleanse my palate a little bit of what frustrated me with Origins. So I went in the challenge rooms and started playing as other characters again, which is always the last thing I do in those games. When I exhaust all of the Batman challenges, and I go through like the Robin, Catwoman, and Nightwing stuff. And it's good. They all play differently. They have different things, although they're all very limited compared to Batman. But as they should be to some extent. I just want to say though, this is the Tim Drake Robin. There's no excuse for him not to have like hacking stuff in it, and he doesn't, and it pisses me off. He needs the hacking stuff. I'm sorry, that's Tim Drake. But other than that, it's great to go back and try the new challenges. And the problem with me doing this is it's getting me more impatient for whatever this Phantom game is going to be coming soon. And at this point, I'm considering going all the way now and playing through Night again. But do I want to go through those Batmobile sections again? That's the question.
Yeah, I wish they could remaster that game without the Batmobile.
I know I played through it twice already originally, but I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But that could be what's coming next. And other than that, some Battlefront 2 again. You
know what I would do about that game, Mike? If they remastered those for series like Xbox One X, like if they gave it an enhanced patch, I would go back and explore that world again.
Which one?
Any of them.
Because Night, there's not much more they can do with that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They could have. They actually absolutely could have. I mean, there's a lot of frame rate dips. There's a lot of, they could do HDR. You can make the darker scenes a lot more. For me, they could pop a lot better, and I could see everything. There was even like the older games they were supposed to be X enhanced, and that was a load of shit. Like they didn't do anything for those games. They just had a patch, and it didn't really do anything. That didn't improve any frame rates, didn't improve the graphic quality. It just basically made it like a 1080p solid game, but it didn't improve. They could have done so much better. So I feel like if they did that with those games, Mike, I would go back and explore this world, because it's just like, yeah, there was potential with Arkham Knight. I hate the Batmobile, but I would go back to it if it looked a little better.
It's really the missions. Like the game itself is great. The gameplay is great. It's just the missions, the stealth tank stuff. Yeah. Like I literally never want to do the stealth tank stuff again.
If you had that game 1080p locked 60 frames, Mike, you would appreciate that more.
I don't care about that stuff that much.
You don't understand how good 60 frames is.
Oh my god!
Finally, join us, Jim.
I'm already
Church
there.
Of unlimited frames.
I learned that lesson a long time ago. Like I talk about HDR and 4K. I don't. First of all, you can have HDR and still have 1080p 60 frames. I don't need 4K. I love my HDR. Don't take that away. But give me 60 frames, because the fluid combat, Mike, you would like. That's what I'm saying. You would love 60 frames in that game. I mean, just the fluid combat by itself.
Okay. We'll see, I guess.
You'll see it in the next Batman game at some point.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Although, because it's Montreal, I expect it to be janky anyway.
Janky, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Tony, what have you been playing?
Finally got to start playing the Fire Emblem Three Houses DLC.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that is actually tough. I died on the first mission. Like,
Whoa.
game over. Because I was like, wait, what? Because it's been a while, and the thing is, I didn't know this going into it, was that you have no control over the customization of your characters. Like, every character that you get is set in their class.
Oh.
So it's not like you can...
You can't tweak.
You can't tweak it. And I'm just like, oh God, like...
They locked in the playstyle then.
Yeah, it's rough, because I'm like, I'm so used to like having my particular setup. I'm just like, oh, I got to work with what I got now. And it's like, okay. And the first mission, you're attacking the DLC characters. I'm like, oh, they shouldn't be too tough. And I just go up with like Byleth and just like twing and like I hit him for like, I don't know, 10 damage, and then he counters, crits me. I'm just like, okay, Divine Pulse gone on the first round already. And that's the other thing, is because you don't have your professor level, you don't have extra Divine Pulses. You're limited, I think, like 4 or 5 or whatever it is. I'm just like, ooh, like that's a little rough. And like there's another mission or two where I was like down to my last one. I was like, can't fuck this up, because like, they're longer battles than usual, because there's only, I think, like 8 or so chapters. So they're meatier and stuff. Like the one, I was just like, it was kind of like escape mission where you had to like get to the other side of the map, and I was just like sweating, because I'm like, oh my God, like if I die here, I'm gonna be so mad, because I spent an hour on this level, and they're just like, nope, the whole time. And there's this one where I'm like this person, if it gets critted, like they're just gonna be dead, and luckily she dodged it, and I was like, oh thank God, like you just missed it, like took it away from him, like you just took that opportunity away from him and stuff like that. But it's really fun. The story is kind of...
We lost Mike. Sorry.
He wasn't paying attention.
He'll be
back. The story's interesting because it's it's really like, just like, hey, there's a hole in this wall over here, and it's like, all right, well, there's a suspicious person. Let's go check out this hole. And it's like, oh look, we stumbled upon a 4th house that lives underground. It's like, okay, cool. And like, it's like, well, we need a professor, and it's like, all right, well, I'm a professor, so I can help you out and stuff like that. So it's just like, all right.
These are like the mole people? What?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, the surface abandoned us, so we abandoned the surface. Like, all right, I don't know what that means. And then I'm slowly learning the details of what they meant by that and stuff. But it'll be interesting to see how the story plays out. And then, because the thing is, thankfully I saved 2 routes to open, because now in part 1 of any new game, you can recruit these characters. And they all seem to have unique classes, so I'm interested in seeing what they can do, because like the one mage is so broken. She is the Dark Flyer, so I think you can skill her up where, like, if she kills an enemy, she just gets an extra turn, so you just like mow down like an army like by yourself and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. I'm happy with it. Obviously put a ton of hours in that game already, so just extra what is it? Icing on the cake and stuff like that. The other thing, speaking of cake, the other thing I did play was Overcooked 2.
Oh, cool.
My one friend was like bugging me so much. She's like, just get it. Like, and I was like, all right, that's fine.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that. I was like,
no.
Back to Portal or something?
No. So Overcooked 2 was, I played the first one, but no.
Oh,
frozen.
Because it is a very stressful game, because you're just racing against
real
time, and you get it's multitasking.
Yeah,
multitasking, crisis mode, and stuff like that. But my friend, she already played through the game twice by herself, because apparently you could play it single player, but you could just control 2 different characters and swap between them and stuff like that. So,
Mike is internet death.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Definitely improvements over the first game, quality of life stuff. And it does lead to like some frantic moments where just like you're just racing against time and trying to get orders out and stuff like that. And then I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Corey.
a little more Borderlands here and there, but mostly board games still. Like
Yeah.
it's been, you know.
Did you see the Batman animated series board games Kickstarter?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Obviously. So
I've talked about it a little bit.
So yeah, I think like I would back that if they were painted for the backers. Like,
if they had an option for it, maybe.
yeah.
But I mean, a lot of these hobby people want to paint their own, miniatures because they think they can do a better job. But
I
anyway,
agree with you on that. But yeah, so go on.
No, it's I was very tempted to back that also. I'm in on it for $1 just to see how I can keep up with the updates on that. But yeah, but a lot of board games. Coronavirus be damned. We got to get our physical board game action there.
Yeah.
And went to a couple different game days and played one game that I really did not enjoy at all. Fury of Dracula was the game. It's a game where one player plays Dracula and he's hidden, and you play as hunters trying to find him. And I was like, oh, this I'm not really. It doesn't sound all that interesting, but like I'm on the Castlevania high right now. This will be kind of cool, kind of role play a little bit here. But problem was the only one person had played it before, and the other people hadn't played. There's 5 of us, and me being one of them as well. And just like everybody's just stopping constantly to ask questions and like, can you do this, blah blah, and how does this work? And it's a slow game already because you're just trying to find somebody on the map. So they're just like doing things like, all right, did we find you? No, okay, let's keep going. It's like, did we find you? No, keep going. It's just like, I don't know. It was really, really disappointing.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I would not want to play that game again. But I mean, I do find that hidden movement genre interesting. I would like to try a game in that genre maybe again, but this one just didn't really cut it for me. So there's that.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, I got to play Root. I don't know if you played Root yet, Tony.
No, I heard about it.
It's a war game, but it's like with these woodland creatures and a cartoony art style. So it's kind of making it accessible to a broader audience. The style of game it is.
Okay.
And like it's really complicated, but at the same time it's very like simple once you start going. Because every faction there's mole people faction, there's like bird faction, there's cat faction, there's like all these different woodland creatures that have their own factions, and they all play completely differently from each other. So like you really need to know all the different factions because you need to know how they behave in order to optimize the way you're going to play with the way your characters go. Yeah. So that's interesting in that aspect, and there's a lot to think about, but really you're just trying to dominate the forest, and that's the aim of the game. So it's pretty neat though. I enjoyed that one.
All right. Let's move into the news, guys. So we've got leading it off with the most. I was not paying attention to your posts the other day. Was it 2 days ago? Because I've been so busy, like it's been crazy, and so like finally I had like a breather moment. I'm like, what's been going on in the chat? I saw it lighten up, unless he was going on, and like the first thing that came up with Reggie is now the board of directors for Gamestop, and I'm like, what the fuck? So what happened here? Like he leaves Nintendo to, I thought he was gonna be like a professor, and then he decides to take over.
He's a lecturer now.
Go back to retail.
He's a lecturer now.
Yeah, I get it, but he's going back to retail to try to save GameStop.
Well, he's only serving on the board of directors, so that's more like vision, not everyday execution stuff like that. But
that's what he went like. Pizza Hut was the same idea with vision for him. Like he was like the Bigfoot pizza, right? That was his big thing there.
I think he was. Yeah, he made the New Yorker.
Pizza. Oh, okay. So I think I know that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't see the choice for him to go to GameStop. I mean, does he think it's a good opportunity?
I think it makes sense, kind of.
What's that?
I mean, I think
it makes sense, sort of.
Why does it make sense? Like, I just don't see why he would want to do this.
Because someone's got to, right?
Well, the thing is, I think here is like if
he's got the perfect background, really.
Then we can all be like, "Yay, Reggie!" And if GameStop fails, you're like, "See, Reggie, we told you." It's like it's a win-win for him.
I just feel like he had I think he's got like great options out there for him to like pick something he wants to do, like.
And maybe he believes in it. Maybe he believes in the brick and mortar GameStop experience, and he wants to succeed, and that's where.
Well, I mean, it does sort of fall in line with Nintendo's sort of like, offline, same space co-op ideals a little bit.
Couch co-op, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the thing is, he was at Nintendo for, I want to say, over 20 years. He was there when the GameCube launched and everything like that. So, thing is, sometimes it's just time to move on, and I'm sure, he got a good, severance package or, whatever.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like whatever. But, serving on the board of directors, no doubt as president of NOA for that long, he's made connections to the retail industry. I'm sure he can offer a lot of insight into GameStop, into like, hey, like with all the testing that Nintendo has done over the years, whether it's like the Nintendo New York store, whether it's the in-game marketing with all their games, or the retail space, because they would partner with Best Buy a lot to do those like Nintendo days where they would like have like exclusive previews of games going on. Like, not to mention, like Blank was saying, with the Nintendo's focus is on the offline, couch co-op, like local, family, gather around the TV.
Schreier just tweeted something.
What's that? Oh my God.
Oh, that's breaking news. Breaking news. This is breaking
when
news.
Schreier tweets something,
we are interrupting this Reggie conversation to bring you Jason Schreier tweeting that E3 is in fact canceled, but it's not official yet. Apparently, he's hearing several devs and pubs saying this. So
yeah, because the thing is, this isn't surprising. This was he was replying to Devolver Digital, because Devolver Digital said cancel your E3 flights and hotels, y'all. It was only a matter of time until people started pulling out of this.
We're gonna tie into this in a second. I think this is the end of the E3. This is
again.
I think this is why they were so hesitant.
All these years. Settle
down, sir.
Settle down, sir.
We have given you this.
I know. But like this is like the top of the list of the things I've ever said in this podcast. So I just got to milk it whenever I can, because this is like years and years of like, it's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen.
I think E3 knows that they're in the last part of their lifespan.
Yeah, they're in danger too.
By admitting to shut down here, I don't think they're coming back after this.
It'll be super hard.
The only thing is everything is getting canceled now too, so it's not necessarily going to look weak.
But again, it's not going to look weak. It's more about then the developers, publishers, they're going to figure out that it's much more like you get to more crowd by doing your digital campaigns instead, because Microsoft is having a GDC event for themselves, for the developers and for the public, live streaming. I put it on the news here, where they're going to announce, where is it here? They have their own event March 17th at 10 Pacific. March 17th and 18th. They're doing their own game developers conference online. They're doing the conference, but they're not having people come together, because Microsoft just decided, hey, we have Skype, we have all this technology. Why don't we just do a digital meeting?
All right,
and that's what they're doing.
This is what I've been saying for years.
What I want is a meme of Thanos being like, I am inevitable, and then Tony Stark being, I am coronavirus. Just stop,
Yeah. No, I think this is the end for E3. I don't think we get E3 next year.
So I forget if we covered it. I don't even know if I posted it, but Jeff Keighley pulled out of hosting
talk about that.
The arena or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he tweeted something cryptically that he said he's going to be working on something slightly different and new for this E3. And this is if it happens now. But again, like. And that came down to, I think, creative differences of what he hinted at, or decisions that were being made.
Did you see HTC's got their conference that they have is going to be in VR?
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Is like, that kind of makes sense, honestly.
Yeah, it's funny.
But it just doesn't make sense anymore to have these big, expensive-ass conferences where just like, okay, cool, like, you're fighting over the attention for everybody, and you can just have your own and save money and just control the content.
I agree to an extent that it's not needed or anything. I like the spectacle.
Sure, I like the spectacle too, but
I like the time of year for it, Corey. I think we can have exactly. I think we can have this same thing but digitally.
I just like
the only problem is eventually people will take it further and not do it all at the same time as well.
It's nice, like traditionally knowing, like every year at this time of the year, we're gonna get these big announcements. Everybody's gonna pull out all their stops to like make things look cool. That's cool. I like that, and it's gonna be it's the end of an era kind of thing, but it's gonna be sad to see something like that not be there. I know they're gonna have their own things. Microsoft will do whatever, and Sony's had their stuff.
But don't you think this will be the death?
They're all fighting over it.
Don't you think though this will help with the death of the facade, the box running your game that's not your game?
You're right, and that's what I was like. That's fine with me because like Jason Schreier talked about in his book about what was it, the Halo, was it Halo War or one of the Halo games where they're like, this isn't even real. Like this was Halo. Yep. Like we worked for 9 months just to make a glorified demo that was never going to ship.
It was a concept demo.
None of this stuff is going to be in the game when it launches.
Right, and it's just like, are you fucking serious? Just so people can play over a 3-day weekend. Like, that's insane. That's the definition of insanity. Just, it's crazy. But, I mean, not to mention that, but, like, does anybody miss those live conference, like, the presentations? Like,
I like
go back.
Yeah, I miss
them.
You want them? You want them again?
No, I like them. I don't know if I want them again. I'm just saying I like them. And I liked sitting down and watching some of the stuff and, like, getting those executives out there and looking all awkward and
to me, it's not the event so much as it is that there's a time of year where everyone is expected to bring their best shit and show it. Now, you could say, it could still be this time, but it won't be. Even if there's like a gentleman's agreement at first that everyone will release their stuff at around the same time, as it's going to be not convenient or it's not going to make sense competition-wise, like you said. It's going to start spreading out. So that's what I would miss if it's really dead. That there won't be a dedicated time for your biggest video game announcements each year.
But that's kind of been happening for years anyway. Like Nintendo started it. I mean, Sony has what was it?
Yeah, but they still were near the same time. Just the sort of like do the sort of gentleman's agreement and also be like, this is where we're still telling their investors we're still revealing stuff around this time. It's just we're doing it our way.
Sony had their December thing.
December, you're right. The State of Play, or what is it?
State of Play.
It was just conference or
no, it was the Expo. State of Play is their digital thing that they're copying off.
They have an
State. The conference. It was called like PlayStation, like it was like EXO or something like that.
That was. I forgot that was.
PSX.
We don't even know though with these little. One company does one thing at a random time. We don't know what it is or when it is. In retrospect, now we're like, wait, what? And that's kind of the issue I have with it.
Well, I mean, Nintendo Direct, we all know what that is. We all know like specifically what that is. Maybe it's a naming problem that they have, or a marketing problem that they have. But it's about getting the message across to you properly.
They do that monthly, though, don't they?
No,
not monthly, but they usually have stuff when there's
more often than the other companies.
Usually it's every quarter.
And I think we're gonna have these now for the other companies.
Mm-hmm.
But when the product is ready to be shown.
Right, because that's the thing is like you look at Microsoft this generation, all those games that got canceled, like I mean even because Platinum Games has been in the spotlight recently because of Kickstarter. The what was it, that Dragon game or whatever, the
Dragon Scales.
Scalebound.
I mean, they're asking something.
Right, they're asking that, and they're like, look, just like both companies, we just messed up, like we just couldn't see eye to eye, this and the other thing, and it's like that bit them so much in the ass. I mean,
sure it did, yeah.
Like and like Crackdown 3, I mean, they showed off for like what 4 years in a row
4 years straight,
before it finally came out. Like again, this is like it's just because like they need to have their sizzle reel at like the first or second Xbox, one thing, just be like, we got games coming, guys. We got games, and just like, great. And again, I mean, I even cite like Final Fantasy VII Remake was one of the first things that they showed off on PlayStation 4's E3 conference, right? Yeah. Remember that? Yeah. And I was like, we're not seeing this for at least 4 or 5 years.
Like that's the thing. Like this could be a good thing because we're gonna have.
Right. That's
would we have even heard about Scalebound? We probably would have heard it, but we would have seen anything for it.
Yeah, we would have.
I don't think we would have heard it.
I think we would have heard about it, but like again, being at E3 sets expectations so much higher.
They may not have showed us anything on that. We would have heard about it, I'm sure.
And that's the other thing is there was radio, and that's what it is, because some of these games is like they show it at E3 and there's radio silence until the next E3.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, like Spider-Man, the same thing. We heard about that game for like what 3 or 4 E3s in a row and stuff like that. And each year we're like, well, they want to tie it in with Avengers. Nope, didn't happen. Oh, maybe they could tie it in with Captain America. You know, because Spider-Man's gonna be in. Nope, misses. Like, all right, man, I don't even know anymore. New Spider-Man movie coming out. Nope. All right, fuck it. Like, don't know what to say, man.
Yeah.
And it's just, you look at it, and it's just a mess. But I mean, look, it's gonna suck. I understand your sentiments about like time of the year. I think for the other third-party companies, they still have to have it around that time of year because, again, the origin of E3 is to shop these games around to retailers so that retailers can place their orders.
Here is more tweets coming in now live. Mike Futter? Mike Futter? I don't know who he is. He's a Game Dev Business Handbook. He's tweeting out, my day started with investigating some stuff, E3 stuff, ended with multiple sources coming my way. E3 cancellation announcement scheduled for tomorrow a.m. I don't think it will hold the night. Many of us have been engaged by sources this evening. Cancel your plans.
All right. That's almost confirmed.
Wario has retweeted this. Wario64. So, this is... Yeah, but, like, I'm going to... Like I said, I now I'm on Tony's side with these things. I think this is for the better. I think this gets us more scheduled, just showing of games that you're not blitzing to show us a sizzle reel. You're not blitzing to show us some sort of cinematic. You're showing the game finally when it's going to be ready, and I think that's going to help us. I think we're going to get better. I think we're going to get better stuff, better games. We're not going to be hyped up for games that will never come out. It's going to help Microsoft. There's no question after we just saw last gen what the fuck happened. I'm sure not everybody's in that same model, but they have an original IP problem. If they're going to just throw us 30 IPs, they don't have to do that now with E3. They can just say, okay, these 5 are actually ready to
these are going to come out in the next rest of the year.
Let's have a small event to show these 5. And that's what we're going to get now. And I think that's a good thing. Now, the only thing that's going to hurt maybe is the smaller developers. But maybe there's a spot, there's a spot for E3 indie. Maybe there's an E3 like small dev or something like that. But I think this is the end of these big developers being there. I think this is it. This is the final. This is it. I mean, Microsoft was pretty much the only one left anyways. So, I don't know.
Well, breaking news there.
Yeah. I mean, we don't usually get that on our podcast. It usually happens right afterwards.
Like right after. We're like, damn it.
So good thing you're right. Why are you browsing Twitter while we're on the podcast anyways?
That was a notification. Came up.
All right. Let's go on here. Norman Reedus says he's talking with Kojima about doing other stuff.
That's fine. If we get the Silent Hills or PT Vision,
yes.
That's fine.
Like,
call whatever you want. Just give us that game.
Right. Give me that game. Like,
it's going to be live action, and Kojima's retiring from games.
No, I think it's going to be another game. I think it's going to be
technology. He's all about that, getting those actors in the game.
And that's the thing is, like, we just talked about that on the we talked about the movie cast, right? The Last of Us. Like, this is Kojima's wet dream because now he can make a game with the same actor buddies that he has, celebrity buddies, and then make a show about it to like fill in the gap and stuff like that. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm semi-joke, but like this is his wet dream. Like this is what he wants.
Kojima, yeah. That and like very, very scantily clad women.
Yeah. Were there any of that in Death Stranding?
No, I don't think there was. I didn't see anything.
No one played it here, so.
I mean, Norman Reedus punches you if you try to look at him naked. So.
Yeah. So there you go. Fix this problem by leaving Konami. So, all right, what else we have here? We have, this is cool news. This was today. Corey, you would appreciate this. Mike, you might appreciate this. NFL 2K is making a comeback. The NFL has signed an agreement with 2K Games to make the next part of the series. Not a simulation game, though, from what they said.
Unfortunately, because EA still has the exclusive license to that.
Yeah.
So can't compete with that.
It needs to be specifically not a simulation.
Yeah, so it needs to be more arcade-ish. They can't make it like a football manager mode and such like that.
So
you won't be having this.
So are we going to get like an NFL Blitz thing out of this?
I think
probably something like that, some other type of stuff. I mean,
I think we're gonna get more.
They have the license, so they're going to probably do a couple different things.
I could see them doing more lighter stuff, like touchdown celebrations, more like celebration moves on the field, like. When you catch the ball, maybe you can do like a quick, like NFL, like you said, NFL Blitz. You can do like a spin move that like like your feet light on fire or something like that. I could see that happening in this game. Is it what we want? Yeah, I would rather 2K games actually compete with Madden, because I felt
that's
their
when
product.
the games were at their best. I mean,
2K5 was fantastic back in the last version of the game. I thought it was really good. That was the last time we got
Madden
this game.
05 I think was the last good Madden.
No, I'm saying 2K5 was the
Was
last,
it
because
five?
that was literally the last. Yeah. The last time they had a license was 04
That
when
was
they
Randy
made
Moss.
NFL 2K5. Yeah.
And it was like $30 too, which was amazing.
So it was a fantastic game. We played that thing nonstop, always on the Dreamcast, and oh man, I love that game. That was on the Xbox. This one, the original Xbox, 2K5. But it was excellent on that, and I'm happy they get this back with them, and I'm hoping that eventually this merges into letting them do a simulation style game.
Yeah.
Mike, you've done the NBA 2K series. They're good games, but there's no like competition, so you can see how they slow down.
They tried to have competition, but yeah, it keeps fucking up live so bad that it's a joke.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's my point. Like, what else did they push Madden to do?
No, they've been stagnant. So
yeah.
I mean,
Like,
we haven't really had competition in any sports game for like a decade at least.
Yeah. So, all right, it's interesting. We'll see what they're going to announce later this year, probably. Lastly, it's like we mentioned at the first part of this podcast. It's Mario's birthday, and we got.
Oh, not birthday, but it's Mario Day.
Mario Day.
March 10th.
Yes, March 10th. Yes. Mario Day. I'm sorry. My brain is just fried. Anyways,
I got you.
Lego tweeted out that little picture. I thought Nintendo did of the Lego Mario possibly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Lego Mario game. So what are we looking at here, guys? I'm psyched for this game. I think that's a perfect combination. And I know Nintendo was branching out trying to find other partnerships, and I think that this is a great partnership for them.
Is it a game?
I don't know. I looked like it was. I thought it was to be a game.
Because the thing is, like the Mario, right? Like, A, he has a screen in his chest. B, it doesn't look like the dimensions of a minifigure, so I don't know what it's going to be. But I'm interested because, I mean, Lego stuff is usually pretty good. And
the Lego games are really the people love this game. So
I don't get them. Like,
they're fun.
I don't think this is going to be a Lego game with Mario in it.
It seems redundant, honestly. A Lego Mario.
Well, one of the hashtags was Lego Super Mario.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's even Lego Super Mario.
No, but I mean, I don't think you're getting, because like Lego has a specific style of game, right? Like Lego Harry Potter, Lego Batman, Lego Avengers, Lego whatever. I don't think it's going to be that game with Mario in it. I think it's going to be something different.
Oh, okay, right. Like it could, like you're saying, it's not going to be like a hack and slash or beat 'em up or whatever.
Right,
like that.
right. It's like
okay, I agree with that. Like the genre might be
whatever.
different, but
Right.
Okay.
Seems like,
okay, now I get you. Okay.
Like they have a specific style. Like all the Harry Potters, all the Batmans, all the Marvel games. Yeah, they're all the same, just with different IP. I don't think you just throw Mario into that game.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I think, but I like the Rabbids game was excellent. The partnership there, I think it was really fun. And I know that they weren't interested in doing that again with Ubisoft. I think branching into this, I think it's a cool idea. If it is a Mario game, I'm psyched for it. And as long as it's not like their Harry Potter games and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they got like Mario's been branching out in the toys section because like there's the whole Mario Kart Hot Wheels stuff too. So like he's branching out a little bit there.
I think it needs to bring it needs Lego to Mario, not Mario to Lego, right?
Well,
that's what it needs to do.
It's good for, like, I like it because for years and years, Mario has been exclusive. Like, what is it? Some Connects or something like that, or Playmates or something like that, where like the minifigures are like this off-brand, not off-brand, but like it's a B franchise like brick thing, and I'm just like, why can't you just be Lego? Like that's what I want. Like, why can't you just be Lego? That's all I got. So I was like, maybe that contract expired and we're gonna get some Mario Lego sets.
Some actual sets.
We get addition. I mean,
I think so. That's why I said
not?
Like we got the Mario Kart Hot Wheels stuff. You know, like I think we do see some Mario sets and like actual toys on the shelf.
Like an actual big size, large size Mario Kart replicas. Like you build a cart.
Awesome. Yeah.
How cool would that be? Yeah. I think that Wow. Well, now we're brainstorming around in there. This is great. Lego is gonna steal all of our ideas, but that's okay. If I get to build the set, it's awesome. So I'm psyched for. I was psyched when you posted that. I took it as a game, and I'm like, this is gonna be awesome because I could see them. Like, I imagine playing Super Mario World, but like 3D Lego style almost. You know what I mean? Like, not the games that you were talking. I understand. Don't play them like Lego Avengers, and I'm not trying to play them like that.
Right, not like a beat 'em up, but like.
But I'm thinking like Mario, where you're jumping.
Jump, right.
Yes, but in the Lego with the Lego form. You know,
right.
That's what I was envisioning. Like when you hit the brick, it shatters apart like a Lego would. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm getting from this. Yeah, you know, if you run into something, you break apart like they do in the games, but it's, you know, with the Mario sounding, you still jump on top of the Goombas. You know, so I think it would be awesome. I'm psyched for this.
Yep.
And I think we're gonna get some. You think we get Nintendo Direct E3 time now?
Well, no. So I mean, we'll obviously get one, but the thing is, like, March is when their fiscal year ends. I'm sure they want to enter the investor call with good news. So I expect a direct within either this week or next week.
Cool. That's awesome. So
at least before March ends, because I mean, you can't go until June. Like, there's no, like, the only game we know about is Animal Crossing, and that's next week. So it's like,
yeah. As that gets closer, I'm more psyched for that game. I'm going to pre-order that game actually.
Really? I preloaded it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to get. Well, I thought about getting it digitally, but I have, like, you know, Jedi Fallen Order to trade in, which I'm never going to touch again because it's got no DLC. So I got some GameStop credit essentially, and I can go and get it cheaper.
GameStop even has I think a $10 voucher or whatever coupon if you get it.
Well, that's why I was like, I have a bunch of games here that I'm gonna trade in here, so I might as well go and take care of that and get it. So
you can play it, because I doubt you're gonna stick with it long term, but it'll be fun to play for a while.
Not long term, but I'll be I mean, the option like you gave me about, like, I can have like my own town with, you know, people here could play it, like my girlfriend play it, her daughter.
Yeah, because weren't you saying, Arya, like, you're trying to get her into games?
Yeah. Well, she wants to play more games, but she's not quite skillful enough. But it's you know, so like the Mario game was a little challenging, but I think Animal Crossing
you can't lose. Right.
Exactly.
Like, the worst that happens, you get bit by a bug and you just wake up and you're, you know, dizzy.
It's this or Lego games. That's why I'm very psyched about Super Mario Lego, by the way. It added in.
Does she like the Mario characters?
She loves the Mario universe.
Okay.
She loves Princess Peach and Toad, and she loves those two. So not so much Mario, but Princess Peach and Toad, and Daisy. Yeah. I don't know what it is about Toad. She loves Toad. So.
It's like the cute, like, you're almost an animal.
Peach loves Toad, so.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so it's interesting. All right, I think that's it. Wow, we broke news on the. I'm sorry. I'm so shocked this happened before we ended our podcast. Like, this is something usually we have our conversations about afterwards. Like, how the fuck? Really, honestly, this happens afterwards. But all right. That's going to wrap up 487 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us, podcast@allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, please, as well. We like the likes. And tune in next week. We'll have a topic for you guys next week. We got to figure it out. Sorry, it's been crazy. We promise it'll hopefully be calmer. I'm on break, so I'm on vacation, so I hope it'll be a lot calmer for me. So see you guys next week.